change has a reason. Baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives outside of status quo. If we stop believing we're meant to be, expanding our abilities. If the passion's gone, we are doing it wrong. Baby, you and I should start living now. With the whole world at our feet, we could stay or we could leave. There is nothing in between. So baby, we should start living now. 'Cause we only have this life. Wanna laugh and wanna cry. I don't wanna waste my time. So baby, we should start living now. Baby, we should start living now. We are close, can you feel it? Something is behind the clouds. We just have to believe it, that we can make the sun come out. Let us lose ourselves in a fairy tale. Who can say what's wrong or right? We're the only ones who can decide. Baby, you and I should start living now. With the whole world at our feet, we could stay or we could leave. There is nothing in between. So baby, we should start living now. 'Cause we only have this life. Wanna laugh and wanna cry. I don't wanna waste my time. So baby, we should start living now. Baby, we should start living now. Baby, we should start living now. I don't wanna waste my time. So baby, we should start living now. 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 Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind
We're gonna dance.
We're gonna
Okay.
dance, dance, dance,
Come on.
dance. We're gonna dance, dance, have a good time, dance, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling, or the windows in the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sanctuary. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
Hi everyone!
What up? What's going on, everybody?
Hello, all of our cruise family.
What up, cruise fam? What?
Welcome to 2018.
Nope,
Yay.
2019.
Welcome to 2019
Yep.
and live. Yeah.
Right out the gate. Boom. Stef IRL, everybody. Stef IRL.
That's live.
At
what
least you
can
now
you
know
do?
it's not scripted. How's it going there, cruise fam? It's great to see so many people in the
Great
chat
to
room
see
already.
everybody. Oh my gosh.
So awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday. Hopefully it's nice where you are. We know it's snowing in Chicago today, so I hope you guys are bundled up and staying warm and all that stuff. So, but thank you for joining us. Yay.
It's cold here too. It's like what, 60 something? It's freezing.
We're a little chilly.
Anyway,
So yes, we are so excited to tell you all kinds of things. I mean, we just have so much going on. I'm going to go check the levels really fast.
yeah.
Make sure we're good.
Before everyone's like, hey, I
I
can't hear you.
We're good.
All right. So yeah, we've, as you know, we finished our 10th cruise of last season on the Norwegian Bliss, which was so amazing. But what was more amazing than doing 10 cruises in a year, which is wonderful. I mean, that's great. What was really impressive and what really warms our hearts is that it's 100% viewer funded. So we wanted to thank you all for everything that you do. It's just,
Yes.
we're here because of you. We just blab to cameras and you all watch
Yes.
it. So
Yeah, so before we start getting to, thank you guys so much. Everyone's joining in saying hello. Hello, everyone. Hi, Brittany. Everyone that's joining, thank you guys so much for joining us. It's amazing. And yeah, so back to what we were talking about, our viewer
oh yeah, we're just rambling while people jump
so
in the room
we'll just
here.
wait a little bit.
Yeah.
We did have an amazing 2018. We did 10 ships this year.
10 ships.
9 cruises. 9?
No, other way around. 9, yeah, 10 ships on 10 cruises on 9 ships.
10
There we
cruises
go.
on 9 ships. We did repeat
Wow.
the Norwegian Epic twice this year. We went and did our
Last year.
transatlantic last year.
Last year. She's
Yes,
stuck in
last year.
2018,
I
everybody. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna put up a big banner behind the camera. It's 2019.
Yes. That's right. But we did, and it was an amazing, amazing year. It was something that we never planned for. This whole cruise thing has sort of spiraled into what it is now, and we only can hope it gets bigger and bigger. So we're really excited about that. We know if you haven't seen it, we do have a 2018 year in review that we would like to show you, just in case you haven't seen it. We're gonna watch with you because we absolutely love it. So here it is. Wonderful. Yay, we had such a good year. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. I mean, we just did so much stuff. We have this video if you want to see it with all the sound and everything
Yeah,
in
without
our
us blabbing in the top right
without
corner.
us talking over it.
But yeah.
It was just a great year.
It started off with the Epic, and then we went to the Getaway, then back to the Epic for a transatlantic, which was Monkey Birthday.
Monkey Birthday,
Got to see all the
yes.
monkeys in Gibraltar, which was amazing, and then Cadiz, which was like our first like cafe in a square kind of situation. It was
getting
really
to
cool.
go to Europe was just amazing,
It
and
was awesome.
seeing everything there, and just seeing everything from the cultures to the people to the food, the drinks, and everything. It was really cool, very, very cool. And then we did our first Carnival trip this year. We did 2.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was amazing. We loved it. We're so excited that we tried the different lines, and we're trying different lines, and that's kind of our new thing. So it makes us very, very happy, and we absolutely love it. So it's just been a wonderful, wonderful year. I mean, the Royal Princess was our first sponsored cruise by Brittany Watson. I mean, it was amazing. It was our first Fathom excursions, and we got to give back to the community where we cruised to. So
That's a trip we will never
Oh my
forget.
gosh, it's just so
that's ingrained
amazing.
in my heart and soul. We can't thank you enough, Brittany. If you're out there, we love you dearly. Thank you so much.
so great. I mean, all this stuff. Look at all. I mean, we did so many
We did 30
ports.
ports last.
Oh my
Actually,
gosh.
more than 30 ports. We also did repeat ports as well because we've been to Grand Turk like 25 times.
We did go to Grand Turk a lot.
Yeah, but seriously, we did over 30 ports, which was unreal. and we're just able to explore Europe a lot. I'm so excited we get to go to Europe this year.
Yes, yes, I'm so excited for that.
Super excited, but yeah, so it was.
It was just amazing. I'm just
fantastic season 1 of
monkeys.
Yeah, woo, Gibraltar.
No, monkeys.
My favorite port of last year was definitely Gibraltar. We got a personal tour from a monkey. That was crazy. He just followed us around. He's like, "Follow me." I'm like, cool.
I mean, it was just a great year. It just so crazy, and thank you guys for joining us on all these adventures. I mean,
it means a lot to us.
It really does. I mean, it's just.
Grand Turk, I love this giving
back. It just
back.
was such a great year.
It's been an unbelievable year.
So fun.
Harvest Keys, some sketch engineering, flying on a rubber band across the ocean. There's nothing, what are you going to do?
The coaster at LABADEE was so fun.
LABADEE was so much fun.
Oh my gosh. So great.
There's
Coffee.
Malaga. Steph
oh,
had
that
her
was
first
churros.
Her churros and chocolate. She's like, what am I supposed to do with all this chocolate? She's like, you eat it. She's like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Churros and chocolate. Then we went down a hill in a basket.
Madeira, a wicker basket going down a really sketch road with trenches in it.
How many coconuts have we had this year? So many coconuts. It's crazy.
Princess Cays was fun.
Yeah, Princess Cays is a great place. It's a great private island for the Carnival ship. They stop there, which is really, really cool.
San Juan was a lot of fun. Love San Juan.
Love San Juan. We did our Fathom excursion there, which was really cool.
St.
And then
Martin,
St. Martin Johnny.
Johnny.
Oh my gosh,
it's all about
Johnny. Johnny's
Love
amazing.
We did it so many times. We loved it. So good.
Such a great
St. Thomas
place.
is all about those 103 steps. It's all about marketing, TORTOLA, it's probably the best snorkeling we've ever done.
Best water.
Some of the best water. The caves, we love the caves. It's just a lot of fun in TORTOLA.
And then of course all the cheers, as you guys know, following along. We cheers everything. So it's just been a wonderful, wonderful year, and we could not thank you guys enough for everything that you've done. And I mean, it's just been wonderful. I mean, gosh.
So I got to say hi to Philip Newkirk and Justin Amharn, Jason, everybody. So many people jumped in. Hey guys, it's so great to see you. Maureen, wow. Gonna have to jump in and type real quick. Answering on my phone, so it takes a minute.
It does take a second.
So yeah.
That was 2018.
That was 2018. We, like she said, 30 ports, 10 cruises on 9 ships. It was really quite spectacular. We got to meet so many amazing crew. We have friends on our Facebook pages are now more people from out of the U.S. than they are in. It's so funny. We met so many crew, so many great crew. It's just been just a whirlwind trip. It started with Norwegian and ended with Norwegian. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, it's been wonderful, and with all the crew that we've met, and then we've met all of you guys on YouTube and Facebook and everything else. I mean, it's just been
our family has
gotten very large. So thank you guys for doing that. Good morning, from Alaska. Hello.
Oh, whoa, Alaska. I gotta catch up here.
Hi, everybody. Thank you again for joining. We're so excited to be here to tell you all about the Norwegian Bliss. We were just reviewing our 2018 cruise year. It's been amazing. We do have so far, it's turning out to be a wonderful 2019 cruise year as well.
Yeah, we've got 5 or 6 cruises already locked down for the schedule. I'm most excited about P&O.
Yes, we are. We're gonna go into more detail in other live streams about our future cruises coming up. We do have a Royal Caribbean coming up first, and then we are going to Europe.
On what's known as the largest cruise ship at sea.
It's so awesome. We're so excited for that. But we're gonna do a whole live stream all about the Symphony of the Seas, which we are going on. So we're very excited about that. But this is all about the Norwegian Bliss. But before we get into that, we do want to say thank you. I know a lot of people just joined now, and we really want to thank everybody for the views and the shares and the likes. All of that matters, just in case you didn't know. It really does matter. And we wrote an article on our blog all about how we got on the Norwegian Bliss, and it was completely viewer funded. So if you'd like to check that out, go to our blog at Sean and Steph. IRL.blog, and there's an article there all about our viewer funded cruise, which is really, really cool. So we played the thank you at the part of our countdown, but I definitely want to play it again. We're not going to talk over it. We're going to let it play so you guys can see it, because we really do, from the bottom of our hearts, we really do thank you for everything this year, and making our channel do exactly what you guys have made it do. I mean, so it's grown so much.
We've met so many amazing people. You've personally touched us. Just in a way we can't describe. This is awesome. We made this channel because we made a huge life decision at the beginning of 2018, and we just kind of ran with it, and we were just recording into nothing. I remember many of our vlogs hitting that 14 views, and we're like, woo, But so yeah, we're so thankful that you all just watch our goofiness, our silliness, and us just traveling. And thank you so much for being a part of our cruise family. Seriously.
Yes, and with that, we're going to say thank you in a video. So here it is.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sanctuary. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sanctuary. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Here we go. All right. Dance, dance, now this Christmas, we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, 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 come on. Dance. We're gonna dance, dance, have a good time. Dance, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sanctuary. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
Oh my gosh. It brings a tear. Oh, you guys, I mean, it really does. It makes me get very a little, emotional when we see that, because
She was crying when I was there. She kept sneaking in. I didn't want her to watch this particular montage, and she kept sneaking in and around my door, and I'd look up, and she's sitting there like tears streaming. I'm like, you gotta wait. I'm wrapping the presents. Get away.
I like to get some sneak peeks here and there. So yeah, but it's amazing. Like we said before, we just cannot thank you enough for
awesome people.
The entire year. Your views, your shares, your donations, your likes, everything, all of that has led up to this.
It all adds up.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Woo.
A little emotional. little emotional. So let's talk about the Bliss.
Oh my gosh, the Norwegian Bliss. First off, I'm going to say, if you like the big Norwegian ships, I'll split the line for those of you who like the small ships. For those of you who like the big Norwegian ships, this destroys them all. This is the best thing Norwegians have ever invented. I'm sure I've just offended everybody and their brother for saying that, but having been on most of the large Norwegian ships many times, including like 12 times on the Getaway and the Epic and blah, 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 I can honestly say that Norwegian Bliss for us got everything right. And they got it right so much that they killed the Haven. I'll let Stef, talk about that, but I personally believe that the Bliss killed the Haven.
Yes, and so, but what that means, that the Haven is still there, and it is a beautiful
it's
Haven.
Awesome. It's beautiful.
But there is, we'll talk about the specifics of it. They have an observation lounge that is there. We're going to get into that specifically and show you that. But the observation lounge has sort of taken away the need to have the Haven space. I know that's not going to be a popular thing to say, but it really does.
Well, it will be for everybody who's not in the Haven, right? Am I right, everybody? Come on now.
Right. Very, very true. It's the most amazing thing. Everything about it, the Bliss is just an amazing ship, and
so good.
It did end up being our favorite cruise of 2018.
Now, by a narrow margin. I mean, we loved every single ship we sailed on, but seriously, for us personally, as people who like specialty dining, really good craft cocktails, really nice, friendly crew, things to do, that we like being on the ship, especially when you sail the Caribbean so many times. Sometimes it's just more about the ship for us. We love the ship, and the ship got it right. Now, if you're a fan of Norwegian's bigger ships, you'll know that they did a lot of things and changed a lot of things. So, for example, if Spice H2O is your jam, you're not going to like the Bliss because they shrunk it down, right? I mean, you got to put the go-kart track somewhere, right? So, and the laser tag and all that stuff. So for us, though, it's about repeatability. There's some cool things on other ships that you really are only going to end up doing once, like thrill theaters maybe, or or maybe a zip line or something. Those are fun, but you're not necessarily going to go up and run up and do the zip line all the time. This is the same problem theme parks have. Well, for us, the go-karts, the repeatability, and the straight up unwillingness for Stephanie to not win. She can't lose, so she would have fought. If the go-karts were open at 5:50 in the morning on disembarkation day, we would have gotten a lap in. I guarantee it.
We would have been there.
So for us, the two new specialty restaurants, Los Lobos and Q, were unbelievable and destroyed Cagney's, moved Cagney's way down the list for our favorite restaurant in Norwegian. And the specialty or the craft cocktails are unreal as always. And the go-karts, the stuff to do is just. I think it's the best Norwegian ship yet, and that's my humble opinion.
Yes, and Cruise Genius, you're correct. They are getting rid of Spice completely on the Encore to make room for the entire VR, AR.
In true Norwegian fashion, they limp into things, right? So on the Escape, they put in Food Republic just to see if people would go bananas about it, right? And then no one threw a temper tantrum. So every ship does a little bit different. So eventually the go-kart track will probably go all the way back to Port Miami. Who knows? That would be awesome.
So great. So great. Yeah, I mean, it really just was a fantastic ship. And that was just a little bit that you saw there. If you're interested, we have an entire full tour. Check the playlist. We should go through the entire ship. It's day 2, as
otherwise
everybody
known
knows.
As Ship Tour Day.
Ship Tour Day. It was just like Sean said, we've been on all of the big Norwegian ships except the Breakaway, but we've been on the Getaway, which is the sister ship. And this feels like Norwegian got it right. All the areas for us, yes, definitely for us. There were just, I don't know, it just was a really amazing, everything for us was just amazing. So
nothing was lacking. I didn't feel like we had to make any compromises. We had long ago said if you don't sail the Haven in Norwegian, you're probably doing it wrong. And on some ships, I still stand by my word. But I honestly believe that the observation lounge, which gives first of all, it's the biggest thing you've ever seen on a cruise ship. No video, not even our videos, do it justice. You are walking and walking and walking until you get to the very front. There's so much space. We never saw it crowded. Even on our last day where we were supposed to port at Nassau and we couldn't because of weather, everybody and their brother was in the observation lounge and we still found a place. So it's just that chill spot, that place, that home base. If you're on a cruise ship, you just always want that place to chill, that place to get away, that place to calm down, like rejuve, if you will. And for us, it's always been the Haven. Well, the observation deck it makes it unnecessary. And I got to say this, as nice as the Horizon Lounge is in the Haven, I think the observation lounge is better. I just like it better.
We've actually been seeing that trend on other Facebook groups, Norwegian Facebook groups, where the people that were on our cruise and on cruises on December, they're in the Haven and they're posting most of their pictures from the observation lounge.
Right.
So that's not in the Haven. So it's a public space, which is kind of interesting to see that people in the Haven are actually using the observation lounge as much as everybody else on the ship. Now it was just a really cool space, and we're going to show that in a little bit, which is really, really neat. So let's talk about specifics so that you guys are already asking about specifics. So we're going to start with our cabin.
Ah, yes.
We were in an inside cabin because remember, this was viewer funded. So we had to.
We didn't have Haven money.
We're going as cheap as cheap. But our inside cabin was really nice.
Oh my gosh.
So the thing that I didn't like about it was the desk area. We need a lot of desk area because we have so much equipment, like our laptops and we are charging and everything. That was my only thing. And I'm going to spin around here in a second.
It's not the best.
One thing I did like is above there, you see there's a little shelf. You could put your cell phones and there's a USB port on the lights. But look at this desk. It's so tiny.
Especially when you put all that other stuff on there.
I mean, there was no space. I had to put the ice bucket in the closet, which then takes away on the shelf in the closet, which takes away shelf in the closet space.
They put the stool right there so you can't.
Yeah, you really can't walk there. That was a really strange thing.
Yeah.
The bathroom, which we're going to get to, was humongous. The biggest inside bathroom that we've ever had.
An inside cabin,
the shower was huge. I mean, just everything was really big.
If you're a big guy like me, the shower was nice. I actually got to shower. Normally, I'm like trying to contort to get water to hit anything above my shoulders.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they have a shower for people above 5'8". So that's nice. But yeah, the bathroom, I mean, it was really, really nice.
Yeah, if they could have taken some of that bathroom away and given you could have
Probably
put more
taken a foot.
space inside the cabin, but the bathroom was really nice.
Yeah.
And since that's where you spend most of your time when you're in the cabin anyway, is in the bathroom showering and getting ready and all that stuff. So it's kind of a neat thing with the inside cabin. One thing that we really, really love is that there are no windows. I know it's not very popular as well.
Oh my gosh,
But
but
for
you're
us,
asleep till noon.
it's
Oh,
sleeping
wow.
wise, it is so amazing. I mean, it's just so great. Another thing that we really like is that this room especially was very cold.
Oh, it's
It's
freezing.
the coldest
Loved it.
room we've ever had.
Loved it.
And so I think, oh, that's outside. I'm like, oh, music playing. Sorry. Anyway.
I swear, shiny object. This is why we can't do like Amazing Race, because literally I'm always saying stay on target. Like I try to make it stay on target, but that's a thing I say all the time.
Yeah. So anyway, back to
There, ghost. Whoa, man.
sorry
Far
to
out.
derail everything. It's live. What can we do? Yeah. So the AC in this room is the best AC that we've had. Now, the Haven rooms that we've stayed in on NCL are amazing with AC.
So hold on. Cruise Genius says, "Why you got to hurt my feelings about the Escape?" We didn't mean to upset
Oh,
anybody
no.
about the Escape. The Escape is awesome. It was but the very first time we sailed on the Haven was on the Escape. It was my 40th birthday. Loved everything about it. We had an aft balcony. It was huge.
so nice.
The only weird thing was the family next to us. The kid was just in awe with our balcony. And every time you sit out there, there's this head.
Yeah, that was a weird thing.
That was weird, but it was unbelievable. Loved Escape, loved the crew, loved the Haven. It was all great, but it's just like they took the Escape and made it more awesome. So if you sail Bliss, it will ruin Escape. So if you love Escape, don't sail Bliss. That's all I got to say.
Well, you should go on Bliss.
You should definitely go on Bliss.
It's so awesome. Yeah, so we really liked the inside cabin. It was just a really nice, Justin just wrote, it is a lot cheaper. So if you're interested in doing an inside cabin, really you just sleep, get ready, and you shower and you leave. So we don't spend a lot of time in the cabin. When we have
Not when you're vlogging, for
balconies,
sure.
that actually is the main thing. When we have balconies as well, we go out there, we snap a couple video shots, we get a clips or two, we get some GoPro footage, and then we're gone. We have to go do the next thing. So for us, it's very it's economical. Plus, it's amazing for us with sleep-wise, and
Really great
it's
sleep.
cold, and you don't have to worry about anybody
Well,
moving furniture on the balcony
Yeah, I was
next
gonna
to
say,
you or
let-
anything like that. It's
What is
just
it with
nice.
the rearranging of the furniture? I mean, you've got 2 chairs, maybe a table. You know nope. This chair definitely has to be on the right. Then tomorrow, what kind of insanity is this? Move it back over to the left. It's 3:58 in the morning. You know, that's the other thing I love
That
about
was
the balcony.
crazy.
So yeah.
And yes, Emily just wrote that her room would be the opposite, cold during the day and roasting at night. Yeah, it was. All cruises that
yes.
we've been on, except in the Haven areas, have
That's where the
been
AC is.
very, very hot. We run hot anyway, especially sleeping at night. We bring fans, and you can see them in all of our videos.
They're awesome.
But usually our rooms are very, very warm, and this room was not. It was the first time that was actually really nice, and where you actually got to use a blanket. We don't ever use a blanket on a cruise ship because
No.
it's usually blazing hot. So yeah, it was very nice.
On cruise ship, we act
yeah.
like blankets or lava. We're like, get that
Yeah,
away from me.
get it off me. Yeah, but we've had the same fluctuation on room temperature as well. It's just it was nice that it was nice and steady and everything was good. It was perfect. So we were very happy with that. So yeah, so that's our cabin.
Really great
Very,
cabin.
Very
You
great.
did a good job.
So we did have some surprise hits, which is very, very cool. So we're going
You
to
wanna
talk.
about the specialty dining first.
Oh, that was part of our surprise
Oh,
hits.
is it? Oh, I see. I apologize. It's 2 things on the list, but 1 thing on the button. My bad. Excuse me. Go ahead. Thank you. Sorry.
Specialty dining.
Woo! Seriously, better. The thing I love about Norwegian is they are typically very consistent about everything that they offer when it comes to food. I have yet to have like a really, really bad experience food-wise with Norwegian. So when they came out with Mexican, we knew it was going to be good, but we didn't know how good. The best chili I've ever had in my entire life was at Los Lobos. And then the second best chili I ever had in my entire life was at Q. The best food, I mean, the food at Los Lobos and Q are so good that it makes Cagney's look like the pub. That's all I can say. I
it
mean,
really
it's really,
does.
I hate to knock anything. Everything is great, but it's just, wow, it's such good food. And
Like this guacamole
At the table.
was the best guacamole I've ever had. It was the ingredients were so good. It was so fresh. It tasted so amazing. We ate here the first time. We ate so much. We were
Oh,
literally in a
food
food
coma.
coma. I think we went to bed at like 8 o'clock
yeah,
because we were like
this restaurant ruined our night.
we were done. We were so stuffed, like to the point of where you feel kind of sick, like you're going to be sick because you ate too much food. That's where we were, and it was amazing. Definitely recommend everything on the menu. This street corn was so good.
Yeah, so So we have to blame some of you all for this because we're like, hey, we're going to Los Lobos. Oh, try the street corn. Try this. Try that. Try the tamales. So we did everything.
Okay,
we're like,
okay,
cool.
okay.
And then like, well,
yeah, 8 o'clock was dinner time. Or it's time to go to sleep.
And then Q, barbecue on cruise ships. I've only tried that once, and it's been successful. Carnival has great barbecue on cruise ships. This is a little more elevated, a little bit more. At least it is earlier. I don't know how rowdy it gets when the bands and stuff take off. We never got to eat that, but the food is really, it's like a slightly elevated southern barbecue, and it's really, really good. Again, another situation where there's just a ridiculous amount of food, and what you should probably do is split your trip between Q and Los Lobos and not eat so much. Just, eat there every night and then just eat a little bit less. But
or just split, like we talked about splitting a meal.
We talked about it a lot, yeah.
It's very difficult when you have the dining
the
plan
chili.
because you want to eat, because your dining plan gets you an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. And with that is a lot of food. So I know it makes it very difficult, but it was the most amazing barbecue. We lived in Nashville for 3 years, and this was better than any barbecue that we ever had in Nashville.
Them's fighting words, but it's true.
I will stand by it.
And it's consistently good.
We ate there twice. It was so good. Oh my gosh, so good. I mean, oh my gosh. I want to go back on the Bliss just for Los Lobos and Q. It was so good.
And then, of course, Food Republic, which is also on Escape for you Escape fans. We love it. It's a great thing. I will say this. They've pared down the menu. It's not nearly as large or as many offerings as there used to be, at least not here on Bliss compared to what we had on Escape. Really great food. Always love ordering on an iPad. That's always kind of cute and fun. But the food was phenomenal. It was another one of those situations where there's just way too many food. Or too much food. Too many food. What's wrong with me? There's way too much food and too many options. And you could easily eat specialty dining the whole time and never even touch the MDRs. Emily just brought up a good point. She thinks the specialty dining on Norwegian is better than the MDR. I agree.
Yes,
I agree.
I agree.
Norwegian has the best MDR, which is no MDR. They have 3 separate restaurants. They treat you like regular restaurants. I think the food is consistently better than most typical MDRs, but it's also destroyed by their specialty dining. Yep. If you have one specialty meal, you're like, what have they been feeding me the rest of the time? This is crazy.
Yep.
So really great food.
We love Cagney's. Cagney's is a staple.
It's all right.
It
used to be our favorite. It's now maybe number 4 now.
Yeah, we didn't have the best meal at Cagney's.
Nope.
It was just.
Let me put it to you this way: it's the first time we've ever gotten a meal refunded. On a cruise ship
we got it refunded.
And we didn't ask for it. They knew it wasn't happy. The MADEIRA took one look at it and said, "No, thanks."
It was the first time we ever had to send a steak back for a recook.
Never once.
At Cagney's. So it just was one of those things, and back to Los Lobos again because we love it. But it was just an amazing specialty dining. Most if you get a balcony on Norwegian, you get 2 perks. Most people choose the drinks pass, and then if you choose a dining pass, you definitely is worth it. I know there's other things like Wi-Fi and onboard credit and stuff, but the specialty dining is definitely worth it. I almost would say that it's more worth it than the drinks, but I like the food better than drinking. So
it really depends on what you like.
Yeah,
if you drink
a lot, then. But I think that the food is better than the drink pass. So on that ship especially, because
I'd much rather eat the food than the drink pass. That'd be weird.
Yes. And yes, the MDRs on Savor Taste in the Manhattan Room are amazing.
Which is like what I was saying is the one thing about Norwegian when it comes to food, if you like food, Norwegian does not disappoint, and they killed the MDR. We had a whole meeting with the hotel director on the Epic. He was explaining, but their success in the MDR phase of cruising is by removing the MDR from the thing. So even though there's built-in restaurants that are complimentary, like Savor and Taste in the Manhattan Room, they treat them no different than you would a regular restaurant. So in other words, when your food comes out, it's not coming out in massive stacks, and it's not being treated like which one was the seafood allergy one out of this. That just scared MDR scare me so much. So we've really taken the MDR and elevated it, especially in the Manhattan Room. If you really down with that, it's a gorgeous restaurant. But
if you didn't know, Savor and Taste have the exact same menu as the Manhattan Room. Yeah. It's just the Manhattan Room has a dress code, and Savor and Taste do not, which I really like that because you get to choose if you want to be casual or if you like to dress up. You can also dress up for Savor and Taste, which is what we do.
Yeah, they're not going to stop you.
But it's kind of neat that it's the same menu, and it really is great food. We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner in Taste or Savor. Same thing, and loved it.
Great.
They had the best popcorn shrimp for lunch. which was my favorite.
Oh, and pho.
And they had amazing pho.
I love pho, and it's so hard to come across any kind of decent pho. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh. So I said, can I get this as an entree? And she's like, we don't have any big bowls. I'm like, can I get 2 small bowls? She's like, we can make that happen. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it was just really good. And that was for lunch, which is, usually you're doing burgers or, fries. It was nice to be able to sit down and have a really nice lunch, which is really cool.
Really cool.
We like that. It's very nice. So now we're going to the hits.
All right, surprise hits. I apologize.
Excuse me.
So there were a lot of surprise hits to the Norwegian Bliss because we've been on so many Norwegian ships. It's almost easy to be a little bit jaded, like, oh, here's teppanyaki and oh, le bistro, But no, in this case, they put everything in, shook it up, and poured it back out because nothing is where it used to be, and it's all very different. And things that used to be called one thing are now called another. And so we were kind of in awe. It kept it fresh for us. But then the surprise hits, other than the restaurants.
Well, this is the first one.
Yeah, this is, like I said,
by far. This
goes on for days. Before you even get to the back here where you see all the glass, this goes on for days on 2 sides of the ship, right? So it's such a vast space. It racks your brain of what used to be here.
View.
That
oh
view
my
is
gosh,
stunning. But
so pretty.
that bar, the best bar on the ship. You got live music at night, tons and tons and tons and tons of seating. The crew there is amazing. We had salad there for lunch one day, like this really fresh, just like really great salad bar is just sitting right there. And they have like light breakfast and light dinners and snacks. And so one day when we were, I think it was the day we were doing our Haven tour, we were so hungry, we just came and had a quick salad, and it was awesome.
There's the salad bar. And this was for breakfast, but they do have breakfast, lunch, and then like a light snack before dinner, which was really, really cool. But it was just nice to be able to get breakfast there if you were just looking for cereal or like a pastry.
Yeah, if you watched our Horizon videos, we did this a lot for breakfast. We'd go to like a quick, like continental-ish breakfast. Sometimes they had a little bit of egg in there. Same thing with Norwegian here. They have some hot items. They have it's really great. But this place is just rife with seating areas, and it was never like, hey, you weren't waiting. There weren't vultures when you got up and all of a sudden your seat's taken. It wasn't like that. Here we are at night, right after probably go-karts most likely, and the crew is amazing. Everybody's really kind, and it's just the space. I've never seen space like this on a Norwegian ship. Just never.
It was a nice. You can definitely tell that it would be amazing in Alaska because you'd be able to sit inside if it's cold.
Oh yeah. There's some little touches like in the Haven on the very front of the ship. There's these built-in seats looking up and over the ship. Obviously, it's for Alaska because otherwise you're looking at ocean, which is fun, but you didn't see anybody sitting there.
But we, like what Sean mentioned at the beginning, we were on our last day. We were supposed to dock in Nassau. We didn't get to do that because of the weather. It was too windy, and so everybody was in the observation lounge, and it never seemed crowded. Nope. And every table was taken, every seat was taken. There were kids that were playing on the floor. Well. It really did. It was really, really awesome to get to see it in its sort of a full state. So I could tell in Alaska it would be amazing to be able to see everything and not feel like you're like cramped in and overwhelmed.
Oh,
so
for sure.
It's just beautiful. The decor.
Space for days, and these corridors that you're looking at right now, they're equal on both sides. So it's just I can't even fathom how much space you're. It's just amazing. So the observation lounge is by far, and this is why I believe it kills the Haven for me. Because for us, we only use the Haven for a chill spot. When it's too crowded on the sun deck or things are just too much or you just want to kind of regroup and kind of get ready, or maybe you just want some quiet time with your loved one or whatever, or somebody else's loved one. I don't judge. It's all good. That was what the Haven was for. The Haven restaurant is cool and the Haven bar is cool, but we're not really down with the courtyard pool. We don't swim all that much. We do when it's every once in a while, but that's not why we stay in the Haven. It's really for that chill. Well, Norwegian basically gave you this chill and times 1,000. It's just so we saw families playing games. We saw people just hanging out. We saw people make base camp there. Kids would go running off, and you just hear a little tweet on their phone. Oh yeah, come on back, whatever. So it was really. We went there every day, morning, afternoon, and night. It was just it's a home base. It was like, hey, got to go back to home base real quick, and so that's why I think it kills the Haven. It was definitely a surprise hit for me.
Definitely a surprise hit. Another surprise hit that we found was this one. And it was the social. And inside the social, they have something called what's it called again? It's
Happy Hour.
Happy Hour Prohibition. And it is a upcharged event. It's kind of like if you've been on the other NCL ships, the wine lovers, where you have there's an entertainment plus you have drinks.
Or the Illusionarium, things like that. So
it's this whole thing. It's adult themed. So it does tell you that in all the literature. It is a.
Oh yes, I got.
Yeah. I think I'm dying here.
I'll get you some more water.
I have some water. I'm just coughing a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely adult themed. I got motorboated. That's all I can say. That's all.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like my choice. I was sitting there talking. I was like, like so.
It is a burlesque type show. It's not. There's no nudity, but it is that type of show. It is a sexual themed show.
Definitely NC-17. I would call it not nudity, but yeah.
Yeah. But
some old guy I thought was going to have a heart attack. It made his day. He
had the best time. But it was a very fun show. It's tasteful. It wasn't like over the top. It's still NCL, so you can imagine that.
Yeah,
but
still
it was
fun.
for
Not
us.
family, but
It
still
was
good.
just a surprise hit that we never expected it to be good. We expected to have some good drink tastings, and they take you through the history of whiskey, so you get a kind of lesson on Prohibition and whiskey while they're doing the show, and with song and dance and everything else, which was really, really neat. We definitely recommend that. It's really fun. So if you're in the mood for something fun, definitely book that one. It isn't upcharge. I think it was like $30
a person.
some dollars person. So
the drinks are good. The singing is really good. The humor is very funny. And the one thing I'm a very shy person. I know it may not seem like that with the show, but I'm a very shy person. And every time I walk into these venues, I always tell Steph I'm screwed. I know it. And she's like, no, don't worry about it. They put us in the front row. And,
we were in the front.
And so not only do they call my name out like 20 times, the whole audience, the whole stage people like, Sean. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Then I get, like I said, I got motorboated, and
it is
I was always
also
getting messed with.
interactive.
It's
yes.
very, very interactive.
But there is no nudity.
No.
Everybody is fully clothed.
Yes.
I mean, clothed. There's no nudity.
That's true. No nudity.
There's a question. Sea Dogs asked, if you don't drink, would it be worth it? The Prohibition show. I would say yes. The show is fun. You don't have to drink to enjoy it. The drinks were kind of.
It was fast and furious.
It was fast.
It was like they hand you the drink. You're like, oh, thank you. And then there's the next one coming.
Because they have it timed to the show, so it's kind of
you
like
can't sip and enjoy. You're not. It's not a sipping thing. You get one sip and you're gone.
So if you don't like drinking, I definitely still recommend it. It's a fun show.
I saw
it's
people
just really
grab
fun.
the server's
they
arms
were.
like, what you doing with my drink?
So apparently, if you held it in your hand like this, they couldn't take it from you. So everyone's like holding
they're
all
not,
of
they're
their
not using their tables. They're all like
because they're taking them away. But it's a fun show. That was a surprise for us. So we definitely recommend that one. Another surprise for us was
no, Kathy. There is no nudity of any kind, Kathy.
No.
None whatsoever.
fully clothed.
Fully clothed.
Bikini type.
What you see more at the pool deck.
At the pool deck, yeah. So everything's bikini-esque. So yeah, it was very good. So another thing that was a surprise hit for us, not a surprise that it exists because we've been to the spa, but the spa on the Bliss was amazing.
So good.
It very similar to the the Escape.
Man, we're bashing on Escape hard, aren't we?
No, this is the same. Very similar.
Very similar. If you like the Escape spa, you'll love this.
It's a little bit bigger. I felt like there were a little bit more of the heated loungers.
Mm-hmm.
It does have the snow room and all of this thermal stuff, but it just felt nicer. It just felt, I don't know. We also got the day pass, which I should actually explain this. So we've gotten the full week spa pass, which is amazing. But sometimes I feel like we take advantage of it. It takes advantage of us, and we don't use it as much as we should. So
that's how it works. You're going to do something else, right?
Right.
Except for the go-kart path.
On port days, they offer a day pass to the spa. So it was kind of our excursion for the day. Instead of going into St. Thomas, we spent the entire day at the spa, and we used it. We slept. We took a nap. We were on the heated loungers. I mean, it was just an amazing day. You're seeing like a couple of seconds. Most of this entire time was spent sleeping. Like it was just
so chill.
It was just so great. So if you're looking for a great way to not get off on the port and you want to stay in the ship, this is a great activity. Now they do sell out, and sometimes they don't have passes available. So I called before in the morning to see if they had passes, and they did. So it was great, but it was nice that we got to spend the whole day there. So I love that. It was just wonderful. It was a surprise for us because we have never done a day pass. It was our first day pass at the spa, and we had the best day ever.
We basically treated it like an excursion.
Yeah.
It was a ship excursion.
It was a ship excursion, which was fantastic. So that was fantastic. I loved it. I wish I could be back in the spa now.
I think hands down, unless we haven't tried Holland America and we haven't tried Disney, but across the lines that we have tried, Norwegian by far has the best thermal suites. By far. So
the biggest thermal pool, and it's so warm and nice. And then at the back of it, they have a chair that has bubbles and stuff. For Kathy, how much is it? I think it cost us $59 a person for the day, which is the cheapest shore excursion that we've ever had.
It was half the price of what an excursion that day would have cost us. So we thought,
Yes. Now, people are asking us about the comedy before we go on to our other surprise hits. The comedians and the Cavern Club, I think Kathy was asking about. We actually ended up missing all of this because we were driving go-karts.
There were other extenuating circumstances, but yeah, because I kept dragging Stef to Cavern every night, and something like we were supposed to do it the night we had the food coma with Los Lobos.
Yeah, that's right. We were supposed to.
And I kept saying, I said the second we passed that, I'm like, especially because we talked to Kathy about it on Instagram, I said I guarantee you we're not going to make it. For some reason, the Cavern Club is a black hole for us, and we've never been able to get into it except one time. It avoids us. We somehow. Throughout a week, we just can't make our way in, and I definitely blame the go-karts. And had we gotten on the laser tag, there'd be another reason why we wouldn't be able to do anything. So we are very, very competitive. We both have, when we get a chance to play video games, we have 2 Xboxes. There is no sharing. We don't, and she's way more competitive than me, and there is no losing for her, right? So it's it was so much fun because it was so random, and it just you don't know who's on the track with you. We had a bunch of adults who drove like 2 miles an hour, and a bunch of kids who thought it was Mario Kart. So it was just so much fun. But no, we missed the Cavern Club, and we don't typically do the comedians as often as we'd like because we've just been seeing a rash of terrible ones. And we try not to do stuff that we can't show you all. Yeah. It's really kind of rough to go, oh, hey, that comedian was great, I guess. You know, it's the same with why we really hate going to the shows because we can't show you.
We love them.
We love the show.
But we can't show it in the video.
So it's just kind of like, hey, check it out. There's a sign.
Norwegian and Royal Caribbean both are very strict on the no filming policy.
So we know the policy, and they know we were on the ship. We have a working relationship with them, and we walked up, and before Stef was even in the theater, somebody yelled across the room, said, hey, you got to put that camera away. We know. We don't get into an argument. We don't start saying, well, give me your name, put a camera in their face. No. So we just, we got the shot of the theater, we put the camera away, enjoyed the show, and walked away. Yep. And we ended up giving the person who yelled at us a business card, and they subbed. What? So
that's always good.
Yeah.
So yes, it was great. Donnie, we are getting there. I promise we're getting there. We have a couple more things. We're saving that for last because it was the most amazing thing.
I will say this, Donnie. They are much faster inside than above. That's all I'll say.
All right. So another surprise hit for us was in Tortola. We've been to Tortola a bunch. It has the prettiest water, and the snorkeling is amazing. This was our second time snorkeling. You get an amazing shot of the ship, which is wonderful when you're sailing away. But they take you to this place called Norman Island, and you do a full day snorkel. It's a almost 3.5 hour snorkel tour. It's amazing.
It was a 3.5 hour snorkel tour. They scheduled us at 11:30, and all aboard was 2 p.m.
Yeah, figure that one out. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, one of the things that we always we do excursions on and off the ship, through the ship and not through the ship. We've done them both ways. You have to judge your time when you're doing it through other people. But so when we saw that we were leaving at 11 o'clock for this excursion and it was a 3.5 hour excursion, we were like, the boat's gonna leave us. But we did it through NCL, so the boat does not leave you. So
yeah, the Shorex manager knew all about it. He said that for Tortola they had planned for this, so he was out there with a clipboard, just making sure we were all going to where we were supposed to go and coming back when we were. And he's like, I would literally run behind you, and there was no less than 300 or 400 people behind us running back to the ship.
Yeah, it was a bunch of people.
Tons of tours were planned deliberately.
But this water and the reef here by the caves is so pretty. You get to actually go in those caves, which is really cool. There's not anything in there. There's some bats. There's
supposed to be treasure.
That's right. It's a pirate area. So there's bats in there, but there's no fish or anything in the cave. It's kind of neat because once you go past the coral, it's all sand inside.
Yeah,
there's nothing in there, no sea life, which is really cool. So definitely recommend that. I wanted to show that because it's just a really cool excursion. Look how dark it gets. Really dark and it gets really quiet. It's just really, really neat. So definitely recommend the Norman Island Snorkel. It was a surprise hit for us.
Lots of fun.
It's just a great snorkel place to if you want to do an excursion, and it's a great time.
Oh, for real.
All right. So what else do we have? Is that all of our surprise hits? Think so. Are we up to?
All right, Donnie, this is for you.
Are we here? Are we here now? Are we here? Are we here?
This is what it's all about. So yes, it was strange going up there, and you're thinking, okay, if you've been to a go-kart track just randomly throughout your town or near your town, they're pretty dumpy. And we've been to several electric ones here in Orlando that are awesome, and we're like, how good could this be? It is better than you expected, and I highly recommend, if you're going to only do it once, I don't recommend doing it one time, but if you're going to do it once, I highly recommend doing it at night. The lighting package is insane. It's a whole procedure, though. I mean, it's different than we expected it to be. It's so much fun. but you're not getting on and racing and getting on and racing and getting on and racing. It's not how it works. It's a whole procedure, and you're going to stop in no less than 4 places before you get on a go-kart, and they try to hammer home on proper racing etiquette, which people ignore. For those of you who are slow drivers, you have to hang out on the right, and I know you don't want to admit you're a slow driver, but when there's someone on your left passing you, you're a slow driver. So that was you just hear all the time, on your right, on your right. So these people don't get that, so you'll see me a lot passing on the right, because and there's that too. A lot of kids don't understand manual steering. Saw a lot of crashing into walls. You get up. There's 2 points where you can get up supposedly to 30 miles an hour. It feels a lot faster inside the cart than it does on the outside. You'll see a view on the inside pretty quickly here. But there's 2 places that you can go really, really fast. One on the downhill and one around a tight stretch right before the downhill. But every race starts as a rolling start because there's not enough room to get everyone going. You would actually, it only takes 32 seconds to get around the track. So you would actually get around, the first person would get around before the last person gets out. So they do a rolling start, then they stop everybody, and then they tell you to go. They can control every single cart. And sometimes when they get the wrong number, like all of a sudden I'm winning and then my car comes to a complete stop and the staff is waving their arms. That's because somebody hit the wrong button. That was funny. But I mean, what do you think? The turbo was awesome. Button mashing.
My first thing that I want to say is I was really, really pleasantly surprised at how safe everything on the procedure from the start to finish. Like Sean said, it does take an hour to get through the entire race. So from start where you check in to exiting your car, it takes an hour. So, but they have all these little checkpoints and stations set up to make sure that like, okay, tuck your hair in, make sure that you have your helmet on, make sure you're good with all the rules on how the car works, how reverse and the boost and everything. So they tell you all this stuff. And then on the track itself is a referee. And I was really, so when we
both upstairs and downstairs,
which is really, really nice. So if you've ever been to a go-kart track, we have them here in Orlando. We've been a few times. They usually have a race for children and they have a race for adults.
Yeah, they don't do
on
that
this, it's all together. So when our first...
Well, yeah, there is the dual card thing.
But for the single cars, they do have a double car, especially for if parents want to drive their kids or parents want to drive or couples want to ride together. But it's very interesting on our very first race when you see kids that are like 9, 8, 9, 10. Now they're very aggressive. They're more aggressive
throwing up gang signs.
But there are some kids that have never driven before. So it was kind of an interesting thing. And I was kind of worried about how is this going to play out with aggressive adults. I may be one of those aggressive adults with the, not against children, just aggressive in general for driving. How is it going to play out with the kids? Will it be safe? And it was. I was so surprised at how safe. They can control your car in an instant. They have this little panel that they punch in your number of your car and they instantly stop you
or slow you
down
or speed you
up. I mean, it's crazy how much they can control. And they were on it.
They were vigilant.
I was so impressed at the safety level of the crew in this area. It was just amazing. It was really great to see.
The reason I don't suggest doing this one time is because day and night are vastly different. And then at the same time, you don't know who you're getting. Actually, it's funny, that kid in front of us that you just saw with the yellow shirt, he and his dad race go-karts like every weekend at home. They were super, super aggressive. That being said, they were great racers and they fought properly. There were other people who were getting very aggressive, ramming you, hitting you. I got rear-ended a couple times. One that actually really hurt me. The guy yelled and stopped, killed the whole track, walked onto the track, raised his visor and said, "Listen, man, you can't be doing that to people." And I love that. Safety is definitely a concern. So, and you see it every once in a while. There are times where it gets really aggressive and everyone's in a tight pack. They will immediately shut it down or slow you down or slow half the track down and split it. They want everyone to have fun because you're actually racing against your own time.
Yeah, you're not racing against...
you're not racing against each other, but they don't do a good job explaining that. It's super aggressive, especially in places that you shouldn't be passing. And I'm guilty. I've passed in certain areas that were really... you're not supposed to pass, but someone was being a real jerk about what they were doing. So I just went,
Yeah, it's interesting because you are only racing against yourself. You're not racing against anybody else, but they don't really explain that to the drivers. So I think if they would explain that, people would get over, to the right or the left so that you could pass them and do your thing. But it was very safe. I will say this, that if you have any kind of back injuries or anything, you just plan on you will get hit.
Yeah, that's what the roll cage is for. Or
it'll sting. It's not pleasant. Nope. When some of those kids, like I said, they're kids that don't know how to drive.
It's also not just you're limiting it because Autobot Diva just said that she doesn't want to drive with kids. Across the board, the kids were better to race with than like we
sometimes
there were some families, and I love this whole everyone gets a turn thing, but there were families actually slowing everybody down, driving in the middle so they could get a better. They were like weaving in and out left to right, and they were getting yelled at. It's like,
they get to get pictures and everything else.
People busting out their iPhones on the track, not allowed to do that. So
that's the other thing. Yes.
Yeah, the only way you can actually film this is what we did with the chest harness. I even brought a shoulder harness, and they're like, no, even though the shoulder harness does not violate, it's not in the rules, so they said no.
Yeah, so but like I said, if you have any kind of back problems or anything, just plan that you're going to get hit. I would say that I only got hit maybe 1 or 2 races that I was like, that hurt, that like you could feel the sting of being hit, you know, kind of that kind of thing. So if you have a back injury or anything like that, definitely do not ride the karts because you will be hit and it will hurt. And we don't, nobody wants to go get life flighted off of the ship. That'd be bad.
Someone just asked what are the buttons for?
Oh, the buttons. So you'll see there's a blue button and a green button. The blue button is for reverse, and then the green button is a boost, which is really cool. So then the boost doesn't work on the entire track. It only works in some places like in the right here past the pit area. It'll work on that straightaway, and then it'll work on some of the other areas as well. The reverse button is just reverse. Again, it's very funny to see kids that don't know how to drive. They don't understand how you have to reverse and turn your steering wheel. They think just reversing up and going will make you go. So you will literally see the same kid go reverse, smash into the wall, reverse, smash into the wall, reverse.
Eventually the wall will just scooching forward. And
eventually the wall that that was kind of fun. So it was very interesting. But I mean, it was the best thing that we've ever done on a ship. The re-rideability, because every race is so different depending on who's racing with you, was amazing. This
is the first time we've ever done anything that has re-rideability. I will go on the ship tomorrow, and I'm sure laser tag's the same way, but we never got a chance to play.
We never got to do that.
But the re-rideability is great. Like I said, depending upon the ship you're on, the zip line on MSC we did 2 or 3 times. That was fun, but we weren't going to do it every day. The zip line on Royal ships, again, 1 time. Climbing wall maybe once, twice. Flow rider. I'm starting to get to the point where those kinds of injuries don't heal as quickly as they used to. So I love me some flow rider, but those days might be over. So it's just like, this is the first time we've seen something that has true re-rideability. Like even the slides and stuff, it's like, how many times you can do a slide? But on the go-kart, it's different every time.
Every race was different.
And it's hilarious. You have all these people, they get into it, like they start smack talking, in your group, and they're like, oh, I can't wait to beat you guys or whatever. It's like,
it was
it's all
fun. It was just really fun.
And to answer your question about the socks and the helmets, you don't have to put them on until you get onto the track. You have to wear your sock and your sock on the track. They give you your helmet. You don't touch the helmet.
Yeah, you can see them. They're on the back of the cars.
They find the helmet for you. I don't know if you're allowed to bring your own helmet. There might be a legal reason why you cannot, because their insurance won't cover it or whatever. Who knows? You'll have about that. I did not see any custom gloves, helmets, anything, nothing. Everybody wore the socks. Everybody wore the helmets.
And Linda, you just asked, can you wear your glasses? Yes. So you take your glasses off. They put your helmet on.
And they put it through the visor.
And they do all of that for you, which is also, again, for the safety part of that. It just was really nice.
It's also why you're not getting through these very quickly. Every station you're in takes about 15 minutes. So while they're racing, they're loading the next team in. And while you're getting loaded in, you get in, you put your seatbelt on, and you wait. They come, they get you your helmet, they double check your car and everything, and then when the other team has done loaded in, then they go by and systematically turn each vehicle on once, and then they send you out. So it's a big procedure. So even though it only takes 30 seconds to go around a lap and you get about 8 laps, it takes about 15 minutes to do the race due to cautions and rolling out and everything else. So it's really all about re-rideability.
It was amazing. So definitely recommend that. Like, oh my gosh, I can't think of having that much fun. Where I wanted to get through the show, we went and saw Jersey Boys. I wanted to get through the show just so we could go race more go-karts. I just like, we have to go because they do close. They close at 11 every night. So if you see the early show, you have just a little bit of time to go ride a couple rounds, which is really, really cool. So yeah, there's Amber. Somebody actually, there was a guy that actually did have an issue with the helmet, because you do sit on the track for a long time with your helmet on, and if they give you the wrong size, because they're kind of guessing on your head size, it's not comfortable. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind. Definitely tell them if you're not comfortable. I saw a lot of people change their helmets off. One time they put on a small helmet on me, and I was like, oh, this is not going to work. So they took it off and put on a new one. So if you're having uncomfortable
I suffer from major anxiety, and you're sitting there with the helmet on and during the day there's no heat. No, I mean there's no wind.
Yeah, it was hot. It was hot.
And I suffer from that even with the visor up. At one point, a guy freaked out. A guy freaked out and walked away. It's just it can. So if you get the wrong helmet on, for sure.
Yeah, but it was amazing. I mean, definitely recommend it. Yes, Cruise Genius. If you heard that, we didn't get to do the laser tag. So
Three times they got shut down.
the laser tag is on deck 20. It's the highest, and it shuts down for high winds, which is very odd that you put it there. But that's not I didn't make the ship, so it's okay. But we had a reservation for the very last night because it was the only thing that was available to reserve, and it was our Nassau night, and we thought, well, it would be great. And we came into Nassau, we came into a cold front, and the winds were, I mean, I'm talking, you're 45, 50, 55 mile an hour winds on the deck. It was hard to stand. We didn't think they were going to run the go-karts, and they did. But our reservation got shut down because of wind, so we didn't get to do the laser tag. And the laser tag looks so amazing. Like, it's huge. It's just a huge area, lots of different spaces. I actually can't wait to go on the Encore to try out. I mean, I know there's going to be even bigger, but maybe we'll just go back on the Bliss and try the Bliss again.
For sure.
We can do. So yeah. So some rain as well. So thanks, Rob. Yeah, it's very interesting that it's so.
I don't know what you're walking over. Sorry. There's this weird thing where when you enter the laser tag, you go up over this massive group of platforms. They're not even stairs. They're just big platforms. And when it's raining, I can totally see someone slipping and literally, I mean, you'll fall down massive platforms. So yeah, it was unfortunate. We'll just have to go again. But didn't stop us from going on the go-karts. And it was funny. They said they ran the go-karts through almost anything. And they were talking to us about a time in Alaska where you could not see the car in front of you. It was so foggy. And they were told by the hotel director to keep it going. So.
Yeah. I can imagine going on the go-kart track with fog.
Yeah.
Just definitely going to get hit on that one.
We're getting a lot of questions about smoking areas. I saw one on Spice H2O, and there's one in the Haven, but we don't smoke.
We don't smoke, so that's not something we know or focus on.
So I know I saw one in the Haven when we were doing our tour, and we saw one at Spice, like half the top right row of Spices. But other than that, we're not sure. Maybe Robbie Cruises knows everything about Norwegian. Maybe he can chime in and tell you where they're all at.
Yeah, there is a cigar lounge. I do believe that you can't smoke cigarettes in the cigar lounge. I think we saw a sign for that because we were surprised. But yes, we would love to go on the Encore. The Encore go-kart track is bigger than this one. So I, to let everybody know, I won the massive go-kart week long.
At the last minute, and I was up.
Yeah, I had to really hustle to win, but
don't make it sound like it was all skill. No, because
skill.
Like we said, there's times where you'll have someone in front of you. There's a shot that I put in there where Stephanie gets frustrated and she's banging her steering wheel.
Because the guy's going like this and I can't go around him. And oh my gosh.
And he's stopping. It's like, so that does affect your overall lap time.
Yes.
And there's been times where I'm behind someone who thinks that, it's a pleasure cruise. I'm going to keep it in first gear. Just kind of enjoy, It is fun though. It was a great time. So we'll have to go on the Encore to have a rematch on the go-kart. So if anybody wants to join us, we'll post that and maybe we can all meet up and do a Encore go-kart rally. Would be amazing.
So fun.
Amazing.
So
That'd be
fun.
cool. Maybe at the end we have like daily prizes and then one big winner takes all prize.
Yes.
You'll get to see how competitive Steph IRL really is.
Maybe that's not good. Maybe we should keep that one behind the curtain. No, it would be really fun. It'd be really, really cool. But I did win. I won. I think we ended up getting 11 rounds of go-karts done.
Which talks about the go-kart pass. We actually broke the go-kart pass, which was great. It was profitable for us. It didn't cost, because it's $100 a person?
It's $99 a person.
$99 a person. So if you're gonna go-kart once, that's a terrible deal. Even if for one day, because again, your one lap or one race per hour is about what we were averaging. There was one time we got like 40 minutes. We're like, woo! But then the next one, someone decided to try to reverse through the whole track. So we did see twice people get removed from the track, so they do take safety very seriously. So if you've got
both kids,
they're both kids. One of them who thought it was really funny what he was doing, and it wasn't.
There's a lot of Mario Kart going on out there. It was not Mario Kart.
So they shut that down really quickly, and they kindly talked to you, but they actually, I saw parents like they were there like mortified that their kid got pulled off the track, and I don't care what side of the fence you are about that. The kid was causing lots of problems and ended up hurting somebody, so they took care of it, and so that I like. So anyway, back to the go-kart pass. They don't openly talk about it. You have to ask for it. Otherwise, you have to schedule a reservation. And that sucks because we saw all these reservation people and they showed up 15, 20 minutes late and they did accommodate, but they put you at the back of the line. We got to roll up past all these people waiting in line. We were in the next group every single time.
That is so even though the cost of it's $99, if you've ever been to Universal Studios or Disney, Fast Passes and then Universal's Express Pass system having the unlimited pass allows you to bypass any reservations. You get to sort of, you don't get to go, I'm not saying you get to go to the front of the line, but you get to join the next group. So you don't ever have to wait. I think they were doing reservations every half hour, if I believe that they were doing. So you get to show up whenever. Doesn't matter if whatever was going on the ship. Like if you wanted to go see a show like Jersey Boys and then run to the go-kart track, you could do that. Yep. But if you didn't, if you had a reservation, I just wouldn't want to live by the reservation that you have. So definitely, and then one time, you have to ride it twice. You have to ride it at least once in the day, once at night, just to get to experience it. And if you really like it, then you want to do more. So definitely recommend the unlimited pass for the.
There is no day pass for the go-kart.
No, there's not.
Someone asked there. It's either a reservation.
No, I think there is a day pass.
I think
there was $29.99.
Was it?
Yeah, okay, there is a day pass.
Here's the thing: they don't talk about the passes, and even though we had a pass and they put it on our card. The guys were like, well, what time is your reservation? And we're like, we have the card, right? So not many people were using it because they kept looking at each other and go, oh yeah, that's right, we do that thing. That's strange. You gonna get off the ship? Or you gonna
but they
race
did have a day pass.
I guess they did. I never saw it, never talked to anybody.
I think it was $30.
Oh, that's only 3 rounds, and that's totally doable.
Yeah, you're not going to get, the go-kart track was open on a C day. It was open in the morning
like 10
from 10.
No,
I think it was 3 hours.
It was 11 because 10 is the double carts.
Okay, yes. So they have, I think there's a 3-hour span in the morning. So that would be, if you could time it correctly, you could get 3 rounds there. Yeah. And I think it's a 3-hour chunk at night as well. So it's only open. So you could do, if you could get on those trips, so that may be worth it for you. If you had nothing else planned that day and all you wanted to do was go karting, then the day pass would probably be very good for you. Either way, but definitely recommend getting one of those passes so you can bypass that reservation system, unless you just want to do it one time to try it out.
To kind of explain why I don't recommend doing one trip, like we saw, like they have these double carts, right? And I thought they were for kids, like for adults to drive their kids around. It's not. We saw a lot of 2 adults riding, and if they're not much more powerful or more powerful at all than the other carts, so they are slow. And so the rider I don't think the rider pays. So I think they were doing a 2-for-1. I'll just ride. It was really painful to watch. It's like you can move your finger a lot quicker than they were driving. It was really kind of sad.
We have some footage of it. I think really somebody's rough. Waving at us. That's how slow they are.
It's like slower than the golf cart in Grand Turk. Really, but the reason I don't think that the single run is good, if you've ever been on, like if you've been at LABADEE at the roller coaster, you have no idea who the person is in front of you. And if you were the person behind Stephanie's very first time at LABADEE riding a coaster, which was many, many years ago, she went down riding the brake the whole way. So if you were behind Stephanie, you had the worst roller coaster experience of your life, right? If you're behind me, green lights all the way because I'm a ghost. So, the same with the go-karts. I was frustrated behind so many people who just drove down the center lane. They drill this into your head, but they're not paying, people aren't paying attention. It's like the whole not paying attention to the flight instructions, Get over. I don't care if you're on the left or the right, just get over. This driving down the center thing is super frustrating. So if you're an aggressive player, if you're in it to win it, or you just enjoy competition, it's super frustrating on one time. That's why we jump back in, and so every time is different, right?
Yeah, you will have bad races. And we had, I would say, half of our races were terrible, where you're like, you get off frustrated because you personally didn't even actually get to race because you're either behind someone who's like taking up the whole track. You know what I mean? Like it's just. So definitely the week pass for us was definitely worth it because we wanted to do multiple runs, and every run is different. So
to everyone talking about having monster heads, I too have a monster head, and they had one helmet bigger than my head. So they had like XX large. They have, it's not like at the bowling alley where if you're over 13, sorry about your luck. No, I mean, they have ridiculous. You may have to tell the guy I can't breathe because the very first time they put a small on me because whatever. And I couldn't even get it. And he immediately goes, this is not working. And he grabs it, with my whole body going like that, And then we got a new helmet. But I understand the hygiene thing and I understand the helmet thing, but I strongly encourage you to write. I would hate for you to go up there, make a reservation, pay for it, and then have to go get it refunded because you brought your own helmet and you didn't want to and it became a thing or whatever. So I would just totally ask.
Just call somebody or write somebody. So
the head socks fresh every ride or laundered. Yes. Well, no, they're laundered. They're absolutely laundered, but they're freshly laundered.
They smell so good. They're so warm when you put them on.
But they're not single use. That would be a violation of their new contract. But they have. It's all laundered. It smells great. I've never once had an issue with that. You're going to get a lot more access to germs and stuff just touching things, the steering wheel, for example, versus the helmet.
Yes. So that is our entire trip. And it really was.
Yeah, like I said, I'd go on Bliss tomorrow. I'd ride go-karts tomorrow. Hopefully get on the laser tag, maybe see the cavern.
For us, the Bliss was our favorite ship of 2018
by far.
Because of the go-karts and the specialty dining. especially
observation lounge.
and the observation lounge. Yes, those 3 things for us sealed the deal that it was the best ship that we've ever been on this year. It was just amazing. Everything just suited us perfectly. So if you're interested in those things, I think the Bliss would be a very good ship for you. It just is personal preference for us. So our favorite, we had the best time.
I mean, but mind you, we also love the Royal Princess and Celebrity Equinox and the MSC Seaside. And
they're all different. They all have their different things.
But we called the Seaside our favorite ship of 2018 at the time, and this one beat it out. And you know what? The Horizon was also, it's definitely in our top 5.
Those are our top 3. I would say Bliss, Horizon, and Seaside were our top 3 ships.
And that might be offensive to people who like the smaller ships. We're going to try to promise to try to get into smaller ships. We get a lot of people asking why we don't. We have this funny rule that we have to break because of the nature of our show. We have to do it at some point, but we were really scared to death of sailing anything prior to 2010. And that's because all of our nightmarish, and I'm not talking funny little cutesy stories later, I'm talking about all of our nightmarish experiences have been on these older ships. Our biggest nightmare experience was on a ship that was cut in half and extended and put back together. So you know which one it is. I don't need to be talking smack, but it was a terrible experience. So we'll have to do it again to try to recover. I know Robbie's really trying to get us to do the newly refurbished ones on Norwegian. We'll do it, but for us, it's about the big ships because of all the options. We love the millions of different bars and the food and the big spaces. And the food is so good. You don't typically get 9 specialty restaurants on a small ship. So we really do like it. And that's our jam. If that's not your jam, it's totally cool.
Someone asked, is there an age limit is that for the go-karts?
Yeah, there is. There are age limits for the go-karts.
There's a height as well,
There's 2,
I think.
And you'll have to look at it. They measure your child's height for solo driving, but it's less if they ride with you. That's from what I understand. So you could be shorter and ride with an adult in the two car. And mind you, they only run that like 1 hour a day. It's almost not worth it from a business standpoint to even invest in those vehicles because they're like never used.
I don't know if it's part of the unlimited pass either.
Even if it was, it's only 1 hour a day. So I mean.
Yeah, that definitely I would inquire about that. There is an age and there's a height. So it's kind of interesting on that one. So yeah, definitely check that out. That's cool. It's a very cool question. Yeah, so that's our Bliss review. We're so happy that you guys have joined us this year. 2018 has been just an amazing year. I know we're in 2019 now. We will be having another live stream in probably about 2 weeks
because we're going
on the largest ship in the world. We're so excited.
As May says, that's so in.
We are going on Symphony of the Seas out of Miami. We'll get to go to the new Royal Caribbean Terminal, which I'm really excited about. And get to be on the ship, of course. It's going to be amazing. So definitely stay tuned for that. We'll post like we always do a day before and then the day of when we have our live stream, so you can join us again and we'll talk all about what we're looking forward to on the Symphony of the Seas.
I can't wait. It's going
to be fun.
It's always about massive productions and amazing musicians. I can't say this enough. The musicians on Royal ships are just so light years beyond what you're used to. It's mind blowing.
Yes.
Symphony. Yes.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Can't wait to go on the largest cruise ship in the world and be able to say that. The largest cruise ship in the world. We've only been able to say number 3. So.
Yep, and Terminal A. We're so excited.
Oh yeah, can't wait to see the new terminal. And I've heard something about biometric check-in. I don't know if they're implementing it or if it's currently in use or if it's just in testing, but that sounds pretty neat as well.
Yep. So we're really excited, but stay tuned for that one. Be in about 2 weeks. It'll probably be the Saturday before we go. So the week before we leave on Symphony, we'll do that one. So you probably can check the calendar and find out what day that will be. We haven't looked that far ahead yet because we're so much going on right now. So, but thank you guys. We have not booked the Encore yet. We that's a little far for us. So we'll get booking.
We don't have the luxury of planning 2 years ahead. We're really, our lives are changing 90 days in. So
yes. Things change very, very rapidly here.
We had again, just like last year, we had one trip planned last year. One trip was pre-planned and scheduled in advance, and that was the transatlantic. Everything else was last minute, fall into our laps. Oh, what's going on? Same with this. This year, the only thing we actually planned was the TA or
the MSC.
MSC. Yes. Wow. Confusing. MSC Meraviglia in October. Can't wait to see it. That was the only one we planned, and we booked that one. Wow. When we were on the MSC
2 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. So that's it. So everything else that you see has been last minute. We get this deal for Symphony comes up, take it, or P&O, take it, So we have no idea what's going to happen. So 2 years from now, so Encore, it's going to be great, but we can't book it until it's a little bit more feasible in terms of existing in last minute deals or whatever.
So yeah, our stateroom on Symphony, which we'll talk about more, but it will be. We did an interior guarantee, and we got upgraded to a promenade interior view. So we have a window that looks on the promenade. We're really excited because you get to see the parade and all the parties, which will be really fun. Be some great GoPro time lapse footage. We're really excited for. So that's a really cool upgrade. So yeah. So we'll talk about all that, but we're gonna get off here now. We have lots to do. So. Thank you guys so much for taking your Saturday and joining us. We really appreciate it.
And thank you for putting us on the Bliss. That was so awesome. That was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed getting back to go to Norwegian. And thank you for following us. I just finished episode 7. If you're a patron, you have access to it. And then I'm cutting episode 8 as soon as we shut this live stream off. So you'll see those coming up. And then boom, Symphony. And then Stephanie's working on something amazing. I can't wait to talk about it. And then there's something else that's also in the plans. And of course, there's cruises. So.
Going on.
But I just cannot wait. Plus our company that we run, that we need to work there as well. Yes. So forgot about it. I don't like having a day job.
Yes. So, but thank you guys so much for watching. We are going to end it with our thank you again. If you missed it, you're going to watch it again. Thank you guys so much. We love everybody. So thank you so much. Really, your views and your shares and your likes really matter. So if you want to go ahead and hit that like button down there.
And Brittany just commented, thanks for being our 2018 sponsor, Brittany. You are awesome. It's Brittany from Your Perfect Getaway by Brittany Watson. And we actually booked through her for this room, and we got it upgraded. So thank you. It's so cool. She told us before we found out about it. We just get this tweet or this DM on Facebook. Bloop, guess what? Your room's different. I'm like, what?
We're like,
so awesome.
We're so excited. So thanks guys for watching. Enjoy our thank you one more time. We'll see you in 2 weeks. All about Symphony of the Seas.
The largest cruise ship in the world. Bye everyone.
To the ocean, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling. Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Here we go. All right. Now this Christmas, we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance. Come on. We're gonna dance, have a good time, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song.